Oh, helping you with your climb. I am Ken Coleman. Fun stuff. Good things happening. I can't tell you how encouraged I am as I read your emails, take your calls every day, read your social media posts. And I want to address something before we get back to your calls. I want to address belief. And this is something I hear every day. I see it every day. Many of you just don't believe that there is the possibility that you can go from where you are now to what you really want to do. It's just hard for you to see the path, and I get it. So let's have fun here, shall we? How about a true or false question? My kids are really into true or false questions right now. My daughter especially, she's a fourth grader, and they love to do true or false questions with each other. So what we do is my daughter has created this game where she goes around and she goes, here's a pad of paper. You know Josie, she loves pens and papers. She's daddy's girl. And so she will make us all write 3 things down about ourselves. Okay? They can be true or they can be false, but you have to write 3 things about yourself. And then we have to go around the room and it's true or false. And she loves it and I love it. So I thought, all right, how about a true or false question for you people out there who are struggling with doubt? So here we go. Inspired by Josie. True or false? And as you're listening to me, you don't have to say this out loud, but I want you to really follow along. Let's just have some fun. True or false? You already have a connection with the person who can lead you to your next big opportunity. Have you answered? All right. The answer is true. Thank you, Joe. That's great. You know what? That's fantastic. Thank you very much. I didn't know that was coming. That was fun. So the answer is true. Whether you said true or false, it is true. Those of you who said true, you're right. And why do I put it that way? Because you have to believe that. You have to believe that somewhere you already have a connection that can open up a huge door for you. You've got to believe that. I've talked about this many times on the show. I don't know where it started, Joe, but somewhere along the line, the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon took off, right? And so basically I would say if I was sitting with Joe over a burger, because we love to sit together over a burger, and I'd say, all right, Joe, let's play 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon. And I would say Denzel Washington. And so then Joe would have to connect Denzel Washington and Kevin Bacon within 6 degrees. So, okay, Kevin Bacon acted with this person who then was in this. So I did it in 2, that kind of thing. Okay, we all get that. I talk about a web of connections a lot. And I actually write about this in the new book, The Proximity Principle. I talk about the web of connections. So I want to give away some of the book today. How about that? I'm really, really proud of the practical steps we give you in the book. Here we go. How do you create a web of connections? And the connections there, but how do you create a web? It's kind of like that 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon game. Here's what you do. Number 1, you got to inform your inner circle. Now, these are your family members, close friends. Like, they're on board for you no matter what, okay? They are your fan base. You inform your inner circle. I want to go from here to there. Number 2, create a connection to-do list. Now, this is where this takes a little bit of work, and this is focused and intentional. We sit down, and you make a list of contacts that you have. Now I want you thinking acquaintance level. People you've worked with, people that you know from a social setting. This could be, I see them at the golf course all the time, or I play tennis with them, or I run into them at the car show the first Saturday of every month. Think about where you are interacting with people on a social level, that it's not a deep friendship, but it's a friendly relationship. Church, your kids' sporting events. I tell people all the time, I've got 3 kids, they all play sports. If I was somebody looking for just a job or looking to make connections, I'm talking to everybody on the bleachers at my kids' games. There's 20 people I'm seeing every week. And by the way, we all look at each other and smile. We may be faking it, but we're all trying to get along, right? Our kids are on the same team. Hey, how you doing? It's good to see you. Yeah, good to see you. Hey, why don't you go show interest in these people? Here's a tip. Ask them 3 questions about themselves. You ask 3 questions to somebody about their life, they're probably going to ask you some questions about your life, and that's when you go, well, I'm looking to do this. Do you know anybody over there? And all of a sudden, everybody wants to give a suggestion. Everybody kind of wants to get credit. Think about it. You ever taken credit for introducing a couple? Well, there's a couple couples that every time my wife mentions them around our friends, I go, well, I made the connection there. I'm still proud about this. So you create a connection to-do list. And you start thinking of all the people that you actually know, and then you go, okay, I now have got to make a connection with them. This actually can be fun, and it creates some action items for you, and it's not so scary anymore. And then third, now you got to actually do the connecting. Make the connection. And you won't believe how things will begin to reveal themselves to you. Now, is it going to happen right away? Maybe not. It may take 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 weeks. But the more you connect, you realize that everybody I know knows people. And so I think I only know about 50 people, when in all reality, if I play this little degrees of separation game, I know 1,000 people.